Eclipses, endings, and energetic upgrades. That's what we're talking about in this episode today. Welcome to another episode of the Live Your Yes Life podcast. My name is Lisa Limata. I will be your host for today. I co-host this podcast along with my business partner, who also happens to be my daughter over at Rise Leadership Circle. We are here to help soulful entrepreneurs really live their yes life, to become well paid and to have a life and a business that you are absolutely positively in love with. So let's go ahead and jump in today. This is going to be a little bit of a blend of an energy update, how to work with the current energies of the moment, and also a bit of a soulful activation for you so that you can finish this year strong, really leading from this leading from within, leading from your intuition, so to speak, through the end of the year and setting you up for your next chapter, which is coming in next year. So I want to just kind of set the stage for us a little bit. So as you know, I've been weaving into the podcast all year long the fact that we are in a 9 universal year. And I've been doing that because, you know, numerology is one of the tools that I use all of the time with my clients. I love numerology as a tool because it truly helps us remember our superpowers. It reminds us of who we are and why it is so important and so special to be this unique version of you. It also teaches us about cycles that we collectively go through together and how they are really for us, what we can really learn. And, you know, I kind of look at life as this big masterclass that we're all walking through, helping us grow and lean into our next evolution and our soul expansion. So this month is really special because we're in this 9 universal year. And let me also say this, if this is something new for you, numerology teaches us that we collectively move through 9-year cycles. So we do this on an individual level, and then we also do it universally on a collective level. And we move through these 9-year cycles, and then we complete it, we start over again. So each year of the cycle carries a very specific energy. And the energy of 9 is all about completion, among other things. It's a time when we really see ourselves wrapping up cycles. This completion energy definitely is also the number of service and stepping into universal love and wisdom. There are so many things that I love about the energy of the number 9. It is also a culmination of the wisdom of all the other numbers that have come before it. So you are ending this cycle much wiser than where you started it in 2017. You have gathered all of the lessons and, you know, everything that you've learned as you set out on this journey. So it might be helpful to even think about where you were in 2017, what you were just beginning, and all that you've moved through. And I'm going to help you reflect on that a little bit more as we go through this episode today. But September is a 9 universal month in a 9 universal year, which means this double 9 completion energy. And I have been feeling into this intuitively, paying attention also to really what's occurring with my clients collectively, what I'm seeing out there. And it really feels like something important about this month is like, it's kind of a graduation ceremony, if you will. You know, as we head into the end of this year, we've got another full quarter to go. We're not even in Q4 yet. You're going to start dancing in between this completion energy and this new beginning energy of the new cycle that's coming in 2026. We all will, but I really want you to think about this month in particular as taking kind of a sacred pause to reflect on how you're creating now. I had a really beautiful conversation with some of my clients today, and I'm noticing how many of them are actually, it's almost like they're doing life right now in a completely different way because so many changes have occurred. It's like the falling away of old patterns, old ways of being, and really stepping into this almost like new version of who they are. So I feel like this month is important for us to think about this really, truly, I can't think of a better word than like a graduating to the next level. And I think graduation ceremonies are so important because they are rites of passage. We want to honor the cycle we've been through. We want to honor the journey and acknowledge how much we learned, how much we've grown, how incredible it has been. Because when we do that, we can bless and release what was. We don't need to carry old energy from the past. We can take the wisdom, we can take the learning, but we don't need to take any old energy from the past and carry it into this next new beginning. So we want to honor it. We want to be clear and aware of what's falling away. So I think that this is going to be something that is going to come up for you this month in September. I love when you guys message me and, tell me how things are unfolding for you. So be sure to let me know. But a couple other things to know is as we're in this month, we're going to be going through 2 eclipses this month, as well as it's also the fall equinox here in the northern hemisphere. It's the fall equinox. So we have just completed one at the time that you all are hearing this episode. We've just completed the first eclipse, and the second one is coming on the 21st of the month. Eclipses can bring about rapid energetic shifts. So you might even feel a sense of acceleration happening at certain times during the month. I want to invite you that if you're feeling like things are suddenly speeding up, or if things even might feel a little bit chaotic, can you practice just really putting that in the context of the conversation that we're having right here? Sometimes eclipses will be like sacred realignments. It's there to show us, it's like we're getting that final lesson in the masterclass. We're taking that final exam and we're really realizing what it is that we're done with, what feels complete, and what we don't want to take with us into next year. You might even notice that this is true for some relationships or a job that's ending. And can you practice just really sort of being palms up in a sense, being in the energy of, can I surrender into the flow of life right now and honor these sacred redirections? The more open that we can stay as we move through this process, the more gentle the experience gets to feel. And for some of you, it might feel like you are literally sort of quantum leaping and things are just happening fast. New opportunities are coming in. It's like you're already in this new beginning energy, and it's almost like, whoa, it's like things are moving quickly, and you want to also be able to relax into that as well. So whatever your personal experience is, the invitation is to relax into it and see how much you can soften through the experience. I take the lens in my life of, how is this for me? What is this asking of me? How is it asking me to grow? Where is it asking me to, tap into my own intuition and trust myself, or deepen in my wisdom? The other thing I think that we're going to be really feeling around the fall equinox, it brings in this energy of balance. It's when it's kind of equal hours of day and night in the sense of balance. And I have been feeling such a strong pull to be connected with nature. So I believe it is going to support all of us this month to schedule time in nature. I actually looked at my calendar. I was like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm scheduling myself to be literally outside in the woods at the lake on the fall equinox. And I realized I already have some time planned to be with my family, to be outside. There's already like just a weekend of fun planned. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to that. And maybe that's something you want to do, grab your calendar, make some space. If you can't do it on the equinox, I think it's important to do it all throughout the month so that you have the space. I want you to think of this entire month as your graduation ceremony, where you're really in this energy of reflection. And to use this time to start listening in, I think that as we step into this new cycle, we are all going to be prioritizing our intuition on a greater level. Especially if you're listening to this podcast, if you've been listening to me for a while, I know that that's something that you're already tapped into. So I want to encourage you to remember your grounding practices, get barefoot on the earth as often as you can, get near the water if you have the ability to do that, and just give yourself space to breathe, to journal. Maybe that's a place where you're just really reflecting on what you've moved through over this cycle. So I want to move into this idea of completing a cycle and a way that you can do this that it really sets you up to finish the year strong. And let me put it this way. I want you to think about the last 9 years and notice if there's a theme that comes up for you. So, if the last 9 years of your life were a book, what would the title be of that book? That's a great way to think about it, isn't it? What were some of the major themes or experiences that you walked through? I know for a lot of us, we had a lot of ups and downs, right? There's these amazing times and there were difficult times, but I want you to step back, kind of get like that 30,000 foot meta view and notice what that book of your last 9 years was called. So I created something for you because I know that a lot of you are often listening to this while you're driving or while you're on the go. And maybe you want to take some time to actually walk yourself through your own sort of graduation ceremony. So I have a list of questions below this episode. You can go ahead and grab that and just give yourself a little bit of time to get your own clarity. So I want to just briefly walk you through something that is going to help you be really set up for success to move in to finish this year and then move into what's next. What I want you to do first is one, name the cycle. Okay, so what would this book be called? I want you to give it a name, notice the theme. I also want to help you envision the next chapter. I want you to start thinking about the new beginning and to start to really notice, is there like a new dream that's coming in? Is there a new vision? Is there something maybe surprising that you have a sense it's coming in, but you don't even know what it is yet? This isn't something that I want you to plan logically from your brain. I actually just want to invite you to feel into it, to be curious about, what if this next cycle was like the most incredible cycle of your life to date? And spoiler alert, it is going to be. It is going to be. And so I want you to think about, what is it that feels like it is ready to birth, ready to come in? What are you noticing? And third, I want to help you prepare for this next cycle with a sense of deep intention and a lot of joy. So you definitely can go through these questions. It will help you outline, everything in your journal, or maybe you're someone who just wants to, take a walk and you could voice note some of your answers in. Entrepreneurs often talk a lot about finishing the year strong, about really making sure, that we get into this final stretch of hitting our goals. And I want to invite you to take it this year instead of from like pressure to finish strong, you're coming at it from a new frequency. And chances are, if you're listening to this, you already know what I'm talking about. You already feel like that new frequency is here. It's kind of, you're dancing in it, but it feels unfamiliar. For a lot of my clients, what has been occurring is because they've had some rapid shifts and these old beliefs have fallen away, it feels a little bit right now like they've landed on a brand new planet and they're just trying to acclimate. It's like the terrain is a little bit unfamiliar and they're really just acclimating to this new frequency, to this new way of being. It's super exciting. It's relying more heavily on intuition. It's really embracing who they are on a deeper level. There's a greater sense of confidence, a much deeper sense of trust. And if that hasn't been your way of being for the last however many years, it's truly going to feel like you're navigating this new planet in a sense. So for some of you, that might be where you are, and it's important to give yourself a little bit of time to simply acclimate. For others of you, you might find what I said is like this accelerated sort of, a lot of things are shifting really quick, and that can also feel unsettling and like you're not really sure how to navigate. So you want to just remember that this whole process is a process of evolution. It's an energetic upgrade that you're stepping into, and it's actually a beautiful thing, although it is going to feel uncomfortable. We don't want to run from the discomfort. We want to sort of get comfortable being uncomfortable, so to speak, and realize that like you're actually operating in a higher frequency. It just feels different. So something to think about is when you're coming from this intuitive place, it might be a softer energy, but it doesn't mean that your goals are soft. Like you might have huge goals. It might feel like, oh my gosh, like I still want to hit this goal and it's a quantum leap to get there. Yes, absolutely. That energy right now is also really powerful. You're going to feel this like rapid acceleration so that some of these goals are going to be coming into completion and it's going to be a beautiful time of celebration. So you want to be ready, for what gets to occur between now and the end of the year, but it's not going to come from force or pushing or hustling. It's going to come from the sense of quiet trust in knowing who you are. So I want you to think about doing some energetic planning about what's important to you between now and the end of the year. So you can do strategic planning. We do a lot of that within our community. We help our clients strategically map out their next steps, but we also do a lot of energetic planning, a lot of tapping into intuition. So the way that Kayla and I work with our clients who are entrepreneurs is, we give them the framework that we have used to create a successful business. And it's a universal framework. It works for any business, because it requires that you also, put your own intuitive mark on the framework. You're going to create within that so that it is your own magical, unique creation of what you're stepping into in your business. So we're going to be doing a both and, right? Yes, you have a strategic plan, but you also need to plan energetically. You want to be prioritizing intuition. So it's one of the reasons I'm telling you, get out in nature this month. Get connected to Mother Nature so you have time to breathe and to listen. Because if you're only in your head, if you're only logicking, if you're forcing, if you're pushing, you're not going to really land where you want to be by the end of the month. And there's so much that is available right now. So we have to trust the timing. We have to trust your own rhythm and trust your design, right? Some of you, like your superpower is to have spreadsheets and strategic plans and that step by step. That's what you need to embrace as well. It's definitely a both and really knowing who you are and how you like to work and to make sure you're honoring that and not someone else's map or someone else's design that is telling you how to do something exactly step by step. So I want to really normalize the wobbles that you might be experiencing as you move through this month and beyond through the end of the year. That, this can feel a bit, remember that analogy of like, maybe you just landed in a spaceship and you're on an entirely new planet and you're feeling it. It's like, well, this is beautiful and it's great. And it also feels different. There will be times when you can really celebrate that and enjoy that. And then there's other times where it's going to feel confusing and wobbly and like you're a little bit unsure. Remember that this completing of a cycle, beginning of a next, is a sacred transition. And we want to honor it and honor who you are becoming. It is a season, right? It's the ending of a cycle. It's a season, and it is actually super important to our growth as humans, right? As entrepreneurs, as humans. And I also feel like for a lot of you, you are noticing your own gifts. Maybe it's spiritual gifts. Maybe it is simply like your own, what I would call superpowers, is like the things that make you, the things that make you unique, who you really are. For those of you who have done like a soul code reading with me in numerology, it tells you exactly, right, how to identify what your gifts are, how to step into your calling in a deeper way. It's really powerful. If you want more information, you can always send me a message and I can tell you more about that. So are you prioritizing your intuition? And for you, this, I'm not saying you have to go into meditation, although of course that's great. It's your gut knowing. It's the way that your body is speaking to you. It's the times when you just know that you know something, and can you trust it even when it doesn't make logical sense, and make that a part of your strategy. This is going to be so important going forward. For those of you who are really sensitive, right? Sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your superpower. And we want to make sure that all of us are being really discerning with the information that we're taking in as we go into this next chapter, that it feels so much like the truth of who you are. So if this episode spoke to you and you are ready to take this energy and turn it into aligned action in your business and your life, this is the work that Kayla and I do with our clients. We, as I said, we give you the frameworks, but we really focus in on the inner work, helping you release the blocks, whether it is a spiritual block, whether it is helping you step into your gifts, whether it is helping you release old patterns, so that you're really clear on bringing your business forward. And we also do the very strategic creating your offer, making sure you know who you're speaking to, creating your funnel to help you get there. It's all of the above. And I think something that really sets us apart is the fact that we really focus on you as the authority of your own life. You stepping into that sovereign authority and leading from that place is what is so important. So if any of this resonates, if you ever want to know more, you can book a Yes Life activation call. We open up a limited amount every single month. It's a coaching call with one of the coaches on our team, and she'll help you really get clear on your next steps, any blocks that are in the way. And if it's a fit, she'll tell you about some of the programs that we have to offer, how we can help you further if that is something that you want to know more about. So, all right, I'm going to bring this episode to a close. I want you to just consider taking a deep breath with me right now, thinking about honoring this 9-year cycle that is coming to a close. And I want you to just acknowledge yourself, because you are ready for this next chapter. You truly are. You're ready to step into what's next. You've already done the work, right? You're coming into this next chapter with so much wisdom. And I hope that you'll really celebrate how far you've come, that you're really able to gently release what's naturally falling away for your highest and best. And just know that as you're becoming more of you, it is what the world needs most. So I'm going to go ahead and put those questions below. There are quite a few that will actually walk you through your own sort of releasing ceremony, if you will, so you get clarity on what's falling away and you get really excited about what is coming next. All right. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, as always, reach out, share this with a friend if you know someone who needs to hear this episode, and we'll see you next time on the Live Your Yes Life podcast.